what makes America the greatest country in the world.
Soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen.
Stood up for what was right. First step in solving any problem is recognizing there is one.
It's time we started talking. Pain isn't something we talk about.
All we can ever do for our heroes is remember them. And they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. They gave up everything for our country, for us. Let's pray for freedom and justice.
Only be a war if soldiers are willing to fight.
Less than 1% of Americans serving in uniform. Some veterans not getting the timely care that they need. The good news is that in recent years we've made historic investments to boost the VA budget.
What is it? Why should we care?
We should care about press freedom
because we were informed.
In democratic societies, free, diverse, and pluralist media enable public debates and are essential checks
You don't
on
look
power.
sad. Let's discuss.
What up, guys?
How you guys doing?
Back again. Episode 17. Today we're gonna talk about benefit of the doubt rule.
Yeah.
What does it mean? What kind of legal significance it has to you when your claim gets adjudicated? So, what is the benefit of the doubt rule? What is that, John?
Benefit of doubt rule. When it comes to the benefit of doubt doctrine, the statute is 38 USC 5107B. The statute says the VA shall consider all information and lay medical evidence of record and a case before the VA with respect to the benefits under the laws administered by the VA. When there is an approximate balance of positive and negative evidence regarding an issue, material to the determination of a matter, the VA shall give the benefit of doubt to the claimant or the veteran.
Yeah, here also an important document is the Veteran Claims Assistance Act. It's a law that was passed in 2000 to improve the manner in which the VA assists veterans claiming benefits, and which also sets out some basic notice requirements for the VA. So it doesn't mean that VA interpretation of the benefit of the doubt is they doubt that the veteran is going to get any benefits. No, it's not like that. So don't get negative. But we'll talk about what it says in the VA regulation and the law and how to understand that actually doubt rule.
Yeah. So a key difference between the VA benefit system and other federal benefit system is the standard for how convincing the evidence has to be in order to support an award. In legal terms, this is called the standard of proof or the evidentiary standard. Most people are familiar with the standard of proof of beyond reasonable doubt in a criminal trial. This is a very high evidentiary standard. In the VA cases, the standard of proof is a preponderance of evidence. This is a very low and more easily met than the evidentiary standard because preponderance means the majority. An award should be granted when the evidence supporting a claim is ever so slightly more than the evidence against it. Another way of saying this is that the VA is supposed to grant an award unless it's more evidence against the claim that supports the claim. The preponderance of evidence standard leads directly to another important rule known as the benefit of doubt.
That's what we're talking about today.
The law requires that after consideration of all the evidence, if there's an approximate balance of positive and negative evidence, the benefit of doubt and resolving each such issue should be given to the claimant. In other words, if the VA finds that the evidence is equally divided between evidence supporting a claim and evidence against the claim, such as two conflicting medical opinions, the claimant gets the benefit of doubt of the positive evidence. For this reason, the rule is known as the tie goes to the runner rule, where the claimant is the runner. So if you're on the fence teetering left or right, it should fall in your favor.
Mm-hmm. So anyone who watched the crime show on television knows that the standard of proof or evidentiary standards are required to convict someone of a crime. So as Joe said, this standard, VA standard, is much more lower than that.
Yeah.
So you don't have to show beyond a reasonable doubt the way the prosecutor has to show in order to send somebody to the jail. It's much more lower. So it falls under preponderance of the evidence, preponderance of the evidence, the benefit of the doubt rule falls under that standard. So it's not as bad as it could be.
Right. And thankfully.
Yep. So this relaxed standard of proofs leads to what we call benefit of the doubt rule. The VA rule requires that after VA considers all evidence in the veteran's case, if it finds that the favorable and unfavorable evidence is approximately balanced. So let's say you got two opinions from two different doctors, one in your favor, another one is against you. VA should take the one that is in your favor.
Yeah.
So once again, what is a reasonable doubt?
Yeah. It's defined as the consistently applied policy of the Department of Veterans Affairs to administer the law under a broad interpretation consistent with the facts shown in every case. When after careful consideration of all the procurable and assimilable data, a reasonable doubt arises regarding service origin, the degree of disability, or any other point such as doubt will be resolved in favor of the claimant. By reasonable doubt is meant one which exists because of an approximate balance of positive and negative evidence which does not satisfactorily prove or disprove the claim. It is a substantial doubt one within the range of possibility as distinguished from pure speculation or remote possibility.
Let's take an example.
Yeah.
So what can actually happen? So let's say I got one evidence, like a lay evidence, let's say a body letter from my friend or from somebody who witnessed what happens during my time in service that is in my favor. I got opinion from my private doctor which goes against me, and I got an CNP exam. So what would and CNP exam would be not in my favor. So what do you think I should expect?
Yeah, more than likely in that case there would be a denial because you have two doctors disagreeing with it even though your buddy was in service with you. Most of the time your buddy in service wasn't a doctor. So those doctors will have higher precedent over your buddy letter.
Yeah, so most likely you'll have like if you divide it into a percentage, let's say all those three documents would weight like 100% on your claim, so you can divide it equally, like 30% each. But normally CNP would take more. It's normally more than 50%, but let's say it's 30 in this case. So 30 and 30 equals, or 33 and 33, but let's take 30 equals 60. So which outweighs that 30% of which is your body letter.
Yeah.
But that body letter gives you a chance to fight if you decide to.
Definitely, because now if you have a doctor that will support you saying that is due to your service, now you have a shot.
Yeah, now you have a shot. You can go to a different doctor which might support you, and you'll have more evidence to support your claim actually.
Yeah.
So, as been said, VA shall consider all information and lay and medical evidence of record in a case before the VA with respect to benefits under laws administered by the VA. So that's kind of wordy sentence, but that's actually what VA, how VA actually defines benefit of a doubt.
Yeah.
And so when there is an approximate balance of positive and negative evidence, that's a key word. Approximate balance of positive and negative evidence regarding any issue material to the determination of a matter, the VA shall give the benefit of the doubt to the claimant, to you.
Yep. Wherever there's a statute, the particular government agency that is responsible for enforcing that law publishes a regulation. In VA benefit claims, we find the enabling regulations in the CFR, or the Code of Federal Regulations, in Chapter 38 of the Code of Federal Regulations. When it comes to the benefit of the doubt doctrine, also known as reasonable doubt doctrine, the CFR has a regulation instructing the VA how to enforce the law laid out in 38 U.S.C. 5107B and 38 CFR 3.102. And this states, reasonable doubt must be resolved in favor of the veteran when there is an approximate balance of positive and negative evidence regarding any issue material to the determination of a matter. But there's also more. Take a look at 38 CFR 4.3, which adds a little bit more information to help us understand what the benefit of doubt doctrine is about. When after careful consideration of all procurable and assemblable data, a reasonable doubt arises regarding the degree of disability, such doubt will be resolved in the favor of the claimant. If we blend all of this stuff together, and the statute and the regulations together, we come up with this key rule in the veteran's claims. This is what the benefit doubt rule really means. When all the procurable and assimilable data are in approximate balance, the tie goes to the veteran. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's that simple. You got two piles, one in your favor, one's against it. So you want the pile that goes in your favor, you want that pile to be bigger.
Yeah.
That's
so build your evidence the best you can. Try to get any doctors to diagnose you and have it support your claim. Any buddy letters that may have witnessed how you got injured, and you should do all right.
Yeah, and so you can label those files like plus, minus, support my claim, against my claim. Yeah. You can say all procurable and assembled data in my favor, all procurable and assembled data against me. So whatever you label those, but those in your favor, this pile got to be bigger.
Yeah.
And also, like, going back to what we took as an example, when you have your body letter, you got CNP exam against you and a doctor exam against you. That body letter gives you an option to fight once you get denied. Because stronger evidence trumps the VA benefit of the doubt rule. So what is that stronger evidence?
Where are we at?
Yeah. Well, that stronger evidence trumps the VA benefit of the doubt rule. To get out of that required result, given the tie to the runner, as it were, the VA rater, DRO officer, or VA judge need only to figure out the way to make sure that the greater weight of the evidence cuts against you. You got to, most likely, during appeal process, most likely you'll have to convince the judge that that letter from your body is much more important than CNP exam and the opinion from the doctor.
Right.
But there is no way you can, maybe there is a way, but I don't know any ways how to determine that this actually evidence before you go or after you go to CNP exam, that this evidence is much more stronger.
Yeah.
Unless you are a doctor or you know VA regulation back and forth, it's difficult.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're going to need to get diagnosed. So you need some doctor to back you to some degree.
Mm-hmm. And also, if you want to go a little bit in depth, you can look at appeals on some of the cases that been presented to Board of
the Board of Appeals.
Board of Appeals, and some of those cases would have a reasoning how actually the judge look at your case and what actually he takes away from previous exams and what he actually thinks, how his thinking process goes.
Yeah.
So how to beat the VA benefit of the doubt rule?
Because the veteran court gives the VA rater, the DRO, and the BVA judge a lot of discretion in weighing evidence, you don't want to have to hang your hat on the benefit of doubt rule doctrine. Remember, a crafty rater or BVA judge can find any kind of negative evidence that cuts against the claim. They sometimes use another veteran's medical evidence to do it. If there is no tie, then the benefit of rule doctrine doesn't apply. So how do you beat it? In basic words, lay evidence. Lay evidence has a lot of power. So it's our belief that the veteran should use the benefit of the doubt rule as a last resort only if the veteran cannot procure or assemble any more evidence or data to support the claim. Here's the thing, there's always lay evidence to put in your claim.
So, as Joe been saying, there is always lay evidence to put in your claim, and that lay evidence can be pretty much anything that supports you.
Yeah.
So just prepare as much as you can, gather lay evidence to support your claim. And the one thing that we want you to take away from this topic is prepare.
Yeah. The more you do now, the better odds you're going to have to be successful the first time around and not have to go through the appeals.
Yeah. Most likely, benefit of the doubt rule is helpful during appeal process.
Definitely.
And you don't want to go to 2, 3, or 5 years of wait time.
Yeah. So deal with it now.
Yeah, because let's say you won an appeal. So BVA judge found out that you actually you're entitled to get this benefit. So he sends his decision back to VA, but it doesn't mean that they cannot to remand like your initial claim. But it doesn't mean that they cannot find something else.
Right.
And you can go back and forth, VA judge, VA, BVA Board of Appeals, or VA judge, back and forth for years. So try to make sure that your claim is bulletproof, even though it's just a notion, it's never bulletproof. Try to support your claim as much as you can. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this topic. Do you have book, great movie or stuff to do that you would like to suggest?
Yeah, I was thinking of a movie, Stir Crazy, with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder.
What is that about?
It's a comedy with two of the greatest people in the world, but if you guys get a chance to see it, it's worth watching. Definitely to see those two guys together.
Okay, and as always in the end, quote or words of wisdom of the day.
War is always a matter of doing evil in the hope that good may come of it.
Sir Basil Liddell Hart.
Yeah, and thank you guys for listening.
Until next time, over and out.